So I just got done watching episode number 4 of Fantasy Knockout, and I don't think I have laughed as much during an episode of an anime this week, and definitely this was like peak comedy for me, and this is just on a personal level. Like there's like a certain comedic like sense of humor that I have when it comes to anime, and this episode hit my like funny bone and my funny strings like at least 8 times. Like I'm talking about this scene where they're inside of the shop, and she ends up going inside of the shop to go and use her charms, and the shop owner is like, do you want the knives, do you want this, do you want money, do you want my shop, do you want my love, what does it take for you to be my wife? Then you have the scene where Tachibana gets thrown into the apartment complex, or into the apartment, not complex. What the hell? He gets thrown into the apartment by Juniku because he almost succumbed to kind of Tachibana's cuteness, so he just yeets her and deletes her into there. Then you had the whole Schwarzenheimer scene with the hero that has been summoned, and Tachibana makes him say his name twice. He does the cloak thing. Then he almost like slices a building in half, but gets threatened. So he tries to threaten Tachibana and Juniku, and Tachibana falls for it. Juniku does it. He gets mad. Like there was so many different funny ass scenes during this episode. Like it was just so freaking enjoyable. Like that is definitely one of my favorite things. Like I think this might be like, it's always hard to say, what's the funniest anime of the season, but like, this is really close to being like the funniest anime of the season. Like just being all funny and actually kind of still having a story. Like it's just so good. Like this episode really just involved them going to the shop, finding something to go and mask and hide Tachibana, because she was wearing a paper bag on her head during this whole entire mission, during this entire time. And she gets upgraded to like this, tiara type thing. And that in itself is funny. And then you have the goddess line and us finding out more about the goddesses. And the goddess, or it might be a different goddess, because the seals that they had look different. So it might be a different goddess, but a goddess summoned this Schwarzenheimer figure guy, to the world. And we find out more about that there might be different goddesses of the world. There might be more than one. And like, it's interesting in that sense, but oh my God, like the comedy is just so good. And on top of it all, this other hero guy, he plays out this whole light novel scenario for Tachibana and Juniku. He ends up calling Juniku father-in-law. He tries to take Tachibana's hand in marriage. He threatens him he challenges him to a duel. Then he does some Chinibio crap. He does like, my eye is trembling. So he was like a Chinibio before, and now he's in this other world. Then he gets arrested by the neighborhood watch for destroying a building. Then when he claims that he was a hero, he shows his little marking. He gets arrested even further. First he has a chain on his neck. Now he has a chain on his hands, or handcuffs on his hand, because now he has plagiarism. Like it's just so, like, where did they come up with this shit? It's just so good. And then he ends up just like saying yes to everything just to try and get himself out of the situation. As the whole time Juniku just sitting there, just waiting for this to happen. And then Tachibana shows him his seal behind her neck, and he gets a nosebleed. Like this is it's peak. This is peak comedy. It's just so good. Like I laughed throughout the whole episode. I was drinking water. I think I almost spilled a little bit of water out my mouth. Like this episode was just so damn good. And like asked me to tell you what's really going on, and I don't really know. I just know like they get reincarnated, they need to defeat evil. What's the evil exactly? We don't know. There's multiple goddesses. They just found out that there's other goddesses that also summon heroes. Why is their mission different than his mission? If he got summoned by a different god, do they want him to vanquish the same evil as Tachibana? Are they going to end up enemies? Like what's the deal here? When's the goddess going to reappear and F up their day once they get closer to everything? Like there's just so much that we still need to know, but I don't really care about knowing any of it because it's just all done so well. Oh, and then you have the bandits coming back, the bandits that got ruined by Tachibana and Juniku. like in the past episode when they set fire to their village or whatever, they come back for revenge and they get just instantly deleted by the hero. They get put, I don't know what they got put on their heads into the ground again too. Like there's just so many beats in this anime that is just so good that like I can't even really be critical. Like this is awesome to watch and it's just so funny. Like it's so funny to watch. Like it's definitely like my favorite comedy for sure of the season. And I think I've laughed the most during this anime this winter so far. I'm trying to think of the other anime that I'm watching this season, and I don't really think there's been anything that's just this naturally funny this season that I think has really just taken over. I think the one that comes to mind is Genius Prince, but Genius Prince is also a little serious at the same time. Like it has a lot of comedy on top of it. It's also really there's also a really heavy story and plot line enveloping there. So I think it's just like this is just pure isekai comedy versus the other animes that are existing, like the ones that have comedy. It's just the comedy is just on top of what they're actually doing. So I really think this might be like the comedy of the winter so far. But I'm telling you all, like Tachibana and Jiguchi's Forbidden Love, the hero Warchenheimer figure with Warchenschweitzer that got introduced here, ridiculous. The Neighborhood Watch, I mean, ridiculous. Him getting caught by the Neighborhood Watch but being a hero. Jinguchi trying to resist Tachibana's cuteness. The bag on the face, like all of this. I just can't wait for next episode to see what kind of tricks they pull out their bag next. But overall, again, like I said, I love this episode. I thought it was really awesome. I thought it was really, really funny. Definitely one that I hope gets a dub. That way he can get a revitalization and more people can watch it. I hope this becomes something that's really popular. I hope people are watching it. So make sure you share this with your friends and tell them to watch it this season. For those asking what anime they should watch. Well, I'll leave you guys with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys being here for another week. We'll see you guys next week for episode number 5. To you, peace out, guys.